Hi, Y Scholars. Welcome to week 27 of study group. Today, we're focusing on maintaining relationships with important people. So to begin with, for today, we'll go over our vision and mission. So our vision is to elevate people's growth mindsets so we all achieve higher ambitions. And again, our mission is to guide first-gen high school students as they pursue and obtain a college education. Moving forth, just a quick reminder as to why we joined study group. So again, our purpose is to increase our connections with other Y Scholars, to build community, improve your student success skills. So again, learning what works for you academically and really trying to optimize those skills in order to succeed. And lastly, guide you to practice your growth mindset. So again, always working to move away from this fixated mindset and recognize that we have an ability to adapt and adjust accordingly. We are flexible in our own experiences and abilities again, and we can contribute to our success. Moving forth, we'll do a quick recap of last week. So last week we went over how to speak with people with authority. So again, speaking to those of higher authority typically can be an intimidating experience. But for us to overcome this, we need to realize that there are positive outcomes. So again, there is a win-win for both sides when you are speaking to people of authority. So again, you get to communicate your needs and wants to that person of authority. And besides that, that person of authority is able to support you and provide a better community for all to be in. So again, it's important to get over your fear by focusing on those positive outcomes. So looking at the bright side of the situation and seeing that, again, you have that responsibility to yourself to communicate how there is a win-win for both sides. So moving forth, it's important that when we go to those of authority, that we present ourselves in a way that's knowledgeable. So again, we do our homework and we come prepared when we're ready to speak with people with authority, and that could take different forms. So again, being prepared means that you have previous research about what the other person has done beforehand. So again, you know their role and what they have written or are known for. So again, you try to use their own background to kind of leverage your way into this conversation to try to just make you appear more knowledgeable about the situation and understand what they could do with their position to help you and help themselves in the long run. So again, going prepared means that you have done research on who the other person is and what they're known for and what they could potentially support you with. Again, it's also important that we're proactive because, again, we are the facilitator for success. We should be the ones kind of dictating how the conversation goes about, what topics are included, and trying to, again, steer it in one clear manner. So to be proactive in the conversation means that you take responsibility. So you know your role in that conversation, what you have to offer, and what you can contribute. You also hold yourself accountable. So again, when you're speaking with those of authority, you also have a responsibility to yourself and to them. So one way you can present this is by offering alternate solutions. So typically when we are speaking to those of authority, it's around a kind of issue or problem, challenge, struggle that we are dealing with, and we're asking for support. So again, in order to really practice this growth mindset, we also want to be a part of the solution. So offering an alternate solution so the other person is not left with all the responsibility of having to, again, devise their own solution is how you could be proactive. So again, making the space for a solution to arise and to become more realistic. In addition to being proactive, it's also important that we're conscious when we're speaking. So again, the different word choices that we could use really dictate how the conversation will go about. So knowing when to use and or but. So again, the word but often kind of is received in a negative manner. So typically when people hear the word but, they become defensive because again, but it's kind of a similar of saying, here's the catch. So we want to make sure that we're using and. So we're offering those alternate solutions and we're trying to incorporate the other person into the conversation instead of, again, causing them to be defensive. So that's what we discussed last week. And what we'll be discussing today is maintaining relationships with important people. So we will be successful if we learn how to stay connected with important people in our life and we create thank you notes for your educators and supporters. So our first activity today will be you writing in your YSP journal. So the first prompt I would like for you to answer is, who are your supporters in your life? So again, those who we deem are our supporters will vary. And again, it varies on what we kind of value, our beliefs, and how often we see them. So who do you deem as your supporter and how present are they in your life? Do they influence you daily? Do you see them maybe once a week, yearly, etc.? So again, our supporters will always come in different forms, shapes, and sizes, and they have a lasting impression more often than not. So some supporters we don't have to see every day to know that they're in our corner, while others we're fortunate enough to have them in our life every day. So who are your supporters? Go ahead and take a quick couple of minutes to answer this. Moving forward, how do you maintain connections with those supporters in your life? So again, in all relationships, we have a responsibility to ourselves and to the other person to invest our time and energy. So again, relationships are two ways. So how do you maintain those connections with those supporters in your life? How do you make sure that they remain in your corner and again, they're in your life? What do you do and how much effort do you invest into these relationships? So go ahead and also answer this in your YSP journal. Do you think right now what you're doing to help maintain these connections with supporters in your life is enough? Do you think you should be doing more? And if so, what should that kind of look like? All right, now that you've taken a couple of minutes to answer those two questions, we're going to go over thank you and appreciation notes. So what exactly is the purpose and when is it needed? So the purpose of a thank you note is to show your appreciation for a gift or service that someone has provided you for. So it's also nice as well to send a thank you note for someone who goes beyond the call of duty. So someone who's going out of their way to help you, to support you. So often these people go unnoticed and they can be pretty surprised to see that someone does notice when they're going above and beyond. So ideally, the reason we give thank you and appreciation notes again is just to recognize the other person who is supporting us, to recognize that the support is often above and beyond what the other person is required to do. So again, it should come from us to acknowledge this, to show that we're grateful for this, and kind of, again, invest into this relationship. So a couple of guidelines just to really ensure that these thank you notes are most successful and effective in clearly communicating your appreciation would be, first, be specific about what you're thanking the person for. So again, we can always just say thank you, but it is a bit hollow. So that thank you, again, could do more if you're more specific and include the details about what you're thankful for. So again, you make this more personal by actually acknowledging that specific event or service that the other person has done for you. Likewise, you want to make sure that there's this kind of future investment in your relationship or future use of that gift or service. So this will come in the form of stating how you'll use or have used that gift or service that they provided you with. So again, showing that, for one, that you're appreciative, and besides that, that this gift or service has advanced your own well-being, can really make it a thank you note pretty effective. And again, it's more personal because the other person not only can recognize that you're grateful for their help, but also that it's gone to good use, that you're taking advantage of this. And again, it was worth all the matter. Another guideline is to send your thank you note as soon as possible. So again, we can say thank you maybe a month or two later, but again, just to make sure that it's more personal and we're really looking to, again, notice the individual, to recognize the supporters and have them in our life, it's better to say our thank yous, again, quickly and promptly. So when you're writing thank you notes, these are a couple of phrases to help you. So some phrases to maybe use as an opening line could be, thank you for those lovely boxes of chocolates. I'm grateful for your warm hospitality. I appreciate the gift card to my favorite restaurant. Thank you for hosting me during the holidays. So again, this clearly states that thank you and also is very specific and personal to the act, gift, or service that the other party has done. So this is a email template of a thank you note. So I'll go ahead and read this for us. Dear interviewer, thank you so much for meeting with me today. It was such a pleasure to learn about the team and position, and I'm very excited about the opportunity to join the company and help in bringing new clients with your team. I look forward to hearing from you about the next steps in the hiring process, and please do not hesitate to contact me if I can provide additional information. Best regards, your name. So then from this email, some takeaways I'd like to really highlight is that one, the opening line is the thank you note, is a thank you. And moving forward, it's also kind of explaining what they'll do from that thank you. So again, something that they like to do with this meeting is that they like to be invested in this company and work to contribute to that work environment. Another thing I'd like to highlight is that this email really does a well job in explaining their feelings, or again, making them known. Says that it was such a pleasure. And again, besides this, it says that they are excited. So again, showing that they have been affected in a positive manner can make a thank you note more effective. And besides this, it's really investing in the relationship by indicating or implying that there is a future to this relationship. So again, when they say, I look forward to hearing from you about the next steps in the hiring process, it implies that there will be a further progression of this relationship. So again, you're offering or investing time already and are confident that this relationship will go on. So another thank you note is here. I'll give you all a minute just to go over this. And compare it to the last one. Moving forth again, this is now a college wish list gift thank you note example. So the past two were emails and this for a job, and this is a thank you for a gift, or yes, for a gift. So this is, dear Mr. Johnson, I want to thank you for supporting me through my college journey. The desk lamp that you purchased for me will help me through my midterm and finals. I'm nervous yet excited about my new life milestone. Again, thank you for your gift. So again, this is recognizing a specific gift that the teacher had given her, Barbara. So again, this is an effective or pretty personalized thank you note by one saying the thank you and how it's related to that individual, explaining what they'll do with in the future with what they were gifted, and also being more personal by including some feelings. So again, being vulnerable and sharing, being open and honest. Moving forward, what we're going to do today is craft a thank you email. So using a new Google document, create an email to thank at least 2 people who supported you through your high school or college application process. These people should be potential folks who may be your recommenders for next year. So there is also a link here just to see some more examples and guidelines. So again, this is another thank you note to an educator that you could maybe use for your own kind of resource for the assignments given today. So I'll read it quickly. Dear Mr. Kai, this is a little note to let you know just how helpful you've been during this stressful year for me. I appreciate the hours you and I spent together drafting my PIQs, going over my college application, and writing those letters of recommendation. I really value your time and support. You're such a great college counselor, and I hope you know that. Thank you. Again, just to go over what we are assigned for today is creating and crafting an email to at least 2 people who supported you through your high school or college application process. So again, this is the activity, and go ahead and complete this on the new Google Doc and share it with the WAR Scholars program. Thank you.